Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. This is part 18 of our dexterity run through the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Last time we went through all of Bellerot, along with the 3 ruined forges of Lava Intake, Starfall Past, and Tailuz. And in that part, we got ourselves the Flame Skewer Ash of War, a Skidoo Tree Fragment, the Dried Bouquet Talisman, the Immunizing Horn Charm +2 Talisman, the Horned Warrior Sword, Poison Hand, Remembrance of the Dancing Lion, Divine Beast Head, I believe 2 Revered Spirit Ashes, Fire Knight Colline, the ability to craft hefty volcano pots, and then Smith Script Dagger, Anvil Hammer, Smith Script Spear, Smith Script Cirque, Ancient Meteoric Orb Blade, or Greatsword, Pearl Shield Talisman, Smith Script Axe, Smith Script Great Hammer, Smith Script Shield, the Random Chance Golem Fist Drop, Talu the Golem Smith, and I believe 3 or 4 Ancient Dragon Smithing Stones. And here, we are starting at Church of the Bud, main entrance. And if we go, yep. Wait for it. Yeah, so I just wanted to show this off because I have been playing on another character, and the main thing I wanted to learn about that character was the best way to deal with Leda's quest. Like, because you have to kill some NPCs. And she wants to kill the Horn Scent, and she wants to kill Ansbach. And in my initial run, I helped her. Alright, sir, calm down. You have 2 swords, you can use them. Folks and the braided cord set. Nice. But in my initial run, I helped Leda kill both Hornscent and Ansbach because at the time she was my favorite NPC. And then for this character, I immediately went to help Hornscent on the other character that I'm currently doing that I'm not recording. I believe I skipped Hornscent completely. Like, I just didn't engage with it because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. And that happened. So wanted to show that off. Especially since his sword, pretty cool. Not my favorite, but I do like that it has blood loss just built into it. I do like that it's a curved sword, but it curves the other way compared to most curved swords. And I do like that it's a paired weapon, so you only need to have one. And it doesn't have sheaths or scabbards, which I am always a big fan of weapons not having sheaths or scabbards. And then his armor set looks pretty cool. Especially the chest piece, the chest piece and the arm wraps, in my opinion. Very cool looking. We can show them off. There was something in my throat there. Yeah. Like, not a fan of the hair strand things that stick out. But besides that, besides the strand things that look weird to me, the arm pieces, the chest piece, the face, they look cool. I'm still going to go with this because there's better, at least physical defense. But I can definitely see myself wearing that set some run. But anyways, Romina Saint of the Blood. In our initial run, Mimic here? There you go. I was about to say, I don't think Mimic here has taken a single swing. And I'm almost dead. But they eventually took a swing. But yeah, in my initial run, I summoned Dryleaf Dane. And I believe I pulled out Mimic here as well. And the fight felt way too easy to me. So I decided to go in without Dane. Just to see if that made it harder, if that made it a good challenge, if that made it even easier, because he's got a very unique weapon class. I rolled that second attack way too late. I think that should hit me. Alright, this could definitely be me being rusty. But I'm not really feeling Romina as much. In the initial run, I liked her. I don't think she's bad right now. But she felt way too jumpy there. It felt like the majority of her attacks were her just flying into the air, and then she'd just throw herself way over there, and then she'd jump up and she'd throw herself way over there, and then she'd jump up and she'd throw herself way over there. And so it felt like I just couldn't really get an attack in, and it looked kind of goofy. Because she's like half centipede, half scorpion, half person, and none of those three things can fly, but then she was just flying around the battlefield. It felt even more strange. Like, even stranger version of a complaint that I have about the base game. Of a lot of bosses in the base game just like randomly fly. Like Margit in Phase 2, where they pull out the golden great hammer and they're like, uh, warrior blood must truly run in thy veins, and he jumps up and floats in the air for a few seconds before slamming down. Or there's Golden Godfrey who jumps into the air and throws his great axe at you before flying down, but he stays up in the air for a second or two. Or there's Horalu who has a grab attack and he jumps and he like floats in the air for a second. Like, there are a lot of bosses in this game that just like weirdly float, even though they have no reason to be in the air as long as they are, and it feels very strange. And I really got those vibes from Romina there, of like she's part human, which can't fly. She's part scorpion, which can't fly. She's part centipede, which can't fly. But a lot of her attacks were just her flying. And it looked kind of goofy. But, anyways, we can examine the ceiling tree, and I will let this cutscene play itself out. Okay. We can grab this Grace. And that building right there is where we fought Romina. So this was actually a very short teleport. And I'm kind of surprised that they didn't just make them physically connect. Because with how short that distance is, I feel like they could have done that. Maybe make you go through this door. So, I get that it's like there's the ceiling tree there, and it's so that way you have to kill Mesmer. But they could have made like a walking path down, and made the walking path down be shadowy, like Enir Ilim, and so you'd have to burn the ceiling tree to make the shadow path walkable, and then you could walk down and go through like a small section before opening this door and heading out and up. And I feel like that could have done a lot to... Because that's something FromSoft is typically very good at. That's the grand staircase, by the way, the elevator that takes you up. You can see it here on the map. But making places connect is something FromSoft is typically very good at. And so the fact that that's just a teleport, kind of strange to me. Oh. We got a Horned Warrior sword from them, cool. But a teleport is something I would expect from a different... like, a different game developer, studio company, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, teleport is something I would expect from a different game development company. I don't know why FromSoft decided to do that. I'm not saying that I would make a better DLC, I'm just saying that there are some decisions that I look at and find a bit questionable. And not that I could make an entire game or an entire DLC better, but just some individual decisions that I would love to see the thought process on. So I just realized that that's probably why. I was about to say, just realized that I don't have any form of HP regen outside of Bestial Vitality. And that's throwing me off because I normally always have HP regen. Like, HP regens are my bread and butter. It is the thing that I use, it is the thing I rely on, it is the thing I live my life by. And playing through Dark Souls 1, I made a pretty big fuss about them not having the Healy Ring. The Sun Princess Ring, I think it's called. Like, there's the Ring of the Sun Princess, but it has a completely different effect. It doesn't heal the way the one in Dark Souls 3 does. And I made a big fuss about that. Because I know that the Dark Souls 1 came first, but they massacred my boy. My Healy Ring. The thing I rely on for basic survival. And they made it not heal. How could they? And as much as I love Bloodborne, and Bloodborne is the closest thing to perfection I've seen in my life, it still does have things that I wish could be changed. And one of those things, I mean, not really, but for the sake of the character, being able to have a Healy ring or a Healy talisman. I should have rolled. But yeah, think like a Healy Carol rune. You should have a Healy Carol rune. I forgot about this part. I don't know how to counteract this. I don't know if I ever figured out how to counteract that, actually. Oh my god, my health bar. $60 points into the health stat means it means nothing. I mean, I'm not wearing that good of an armor set, but the Int and Faith runs aren't going to be wearing good armor sets because I want to make them look the part of an Int and Faith run, and whew. My bones. My everything. They were miracled out of existence. I'm sorry, incantationed out of existence. Different game, different game. Now, I don't know if they're a thing or not, but I haven't gotten any so far. So, I'm gonna say it here. Being able to get the horns and the robe off of these enemies would be really cool. I mean, you might be able to, but I haven't gotten them. So, same with the Inquisitors. Being able to get their armor sets would be pretty cool. But, moving on. These drops always make me nervous. Plop. Like, between the initial run and this run, I did a second run where I primarily focused on helping others. And anytime someone went down here, I was always extremely hesitant to follow them. Mostly because of that jump. That jump scared me far more than most bosses. And I don't know why, considering I've never missed that jump. Like, I've done that jump like probably 7-8 times now. I've missed it 0 times, and it still scares me so much. Though, down here, there was a change. We can talk about it when we get to it. It's after these enemies. The Pata does not do any stance damage. I rolled too late. He threw 2 swings that I feel like should have hit me, but didn't. And I'll take them not hitting me, but I feel like they should have hit me. But anyways, when the DLC first came out, trying to go... I don't remember if it was going down the elevator or if it was going through this doorway. But one of the two would kick you back up. Like, if it was the elevator, it kicked you back up to the top. If it was going through here, it would kick you back here. And there would be a message saying, like, oh, you're leaving the playable area. Can't do that. And it really sucked because you would just go through here, open this door, and that was it. Because this whole thing is like a wild goose chase, all to get this weapon, the Euporia. And it would let you go through all of that just to stop you at the very end if you were doing co-op. And so you'd either have to leave and come back alone, or you'd have to kick the person, like the cooperator, out of your world and then head through. But there was an update that let you come down here, and it just made it to where these walls, because you can jump over these and make it into Belleroth. And so they made it to where there were fog walls on the sides of these so you couldn't jump down. And that was such a small change. But that was another one of those decisions, not the change itself, but the original decision of letting you go all the way down here but then stopping you at the very end. That was another one of those decisions where when I found out about it, I went, what is FromSoft doing, man? Like, not saying that I could make better games than FromSoft, because I would not. But they should bring on someone like me who would really test these things and really start throwing some questions at them. And again, this isn't to hate on FromSoft. They make incredible games. That's why I play them. I wouldn't play their games if they weren't good. But they do make some questionable decisions from time to time. And I feel like they should have someone to ask those questions, so that way they can figure that stuff out before the games come out. But the update with that change, I think it was patch 1.14. Might have been patch 1.15. I don't remember. But the change to actually let you go and get the Euporia during co-op was a small but very welcome change. It was so nice. Very good for co-op. Very good for letting people explore. That was a good FromSoft moment. Very glad that, because they didn't, at least to my knowledge, didn't really update games that much before Elden Ring. I mean, there were updates, but not a whole lot. But Elden Ring, they've updated a lot more. You're good. Calm down. Jeez. Anyways, they've updated Elden Ring a lot more than their previous games, at least to my knowledge. And I'm really glad that they've been listening to the community and making those quality of life updates. Same with people saying, oh, the fists don't have enough range, so they added the pata, which has a lot more range, and the golem fist, which has a projectile heavy attack. Just small things like that to show that they're listening to the community. Very much appreciated. Though obviously some people have made some very wild claims, and so they shouldn't listen to everyone. They should listen to everyone. It's just that they shouldn't change the games based on what everyone says. They should look at what everyone says and figure out who's crazy and who's normal, and make things better where they can. Ignore some of the more wild, the more wild requests, we can call it. Because I have... There's a guy down there. Hello. Hello. That was way easier than expected. Divine Beast Helm. I thought that was gonna take like 4 or 5 flasks. Very surprised that it didn't take any. We barely even took damage. That's very nice. Very nice indeed. Oh. There's 2 guys here. Huh. Lock on is important. I thought that the one here came up on the elevator. I didn't know that they just were there from the beginning. You learn something new every day, I suppose. We can make this jump. Get the Gravebird Helm. If you took the elevator down, you'd end up here. And we can continue making our way down. And you can die. I am very surprised those 2 projectiles didn't hit me. Sir, please. I'm beyond very surprised that none of that big combo hit me. I was convinced I was gonna get hit at least 3 or 4 times. Anyways, Ancient Somber Stone, and if this staircase remained fully intact, it would connect to that one there, which is the first rise side of Grace, which is the one, not the first one because that's this one, but it's you teleport from here, you start here, you kill one enemy, you end up here. And then if you go up the stairs and outside, you'd end up there. And you can, I'm pretty sure you can tell that by going there and then using the telescope and seeing the curse blade. Also, there's a lot of blood splatters here. And I don't know if it's mostly mine or the curse blades or what's going on there, but we can pop that and we can move on. Also, where is it? Here. The Horned Warrior Sword. That's a guaranteed drop from the one enemy in Billerot, but you can also apparently get it as a random drop. But the Horned Warrior Greatsword is a guaranteed drop from this guy, but I don't think it's also a random drop. So, I don't know why there's that inconsistency, but there is. I thought he was doing a different attack. Should have rolled there. I did not play that very well, but we made it. And yeah, Horned Warrior Greatsword. It's a guaranteed drop, but unlike the normal sword, I don't think it's also a random drop. It might be, but I don't think it is. And it's not a big deal, but it's another one of those strange decisions that makes me look at FromSoft and go, what made you decide that? Like, what was the thought process behind that decision making? I'm very, very curious on that. Now we're at 20, which is max, and 10 of this, which is max. And we're good. Summoning pool is now functional. We're at 38 minutes. We might, if we're fast, we might be able to take out Leda and her allies and Radahn. Kind of doubt that though.
It'd been quite some time. It was never kindly Miquella, was it? The Erdtree was leading you all along, so that you might ascend to lordship. Why come to these lands to begin with? I suppose it must be what His Eminence, or perhaps the Erdtree desired all along. The clashing of the favored lords, such that one would prevail. So be it. If you insist upon facing Miquella the Kind, then I will run you through whoever you might be. Don't tarry now.
Okay. Ansbach. In my initial run, it was Thalier, which is Thalier, and it was some NPC I'd never heard of. So I wonder if I missed that NPC or if it's someone that I know of but I just didn't recognize at the time, or if it was someone that was made up purely for, in the case of Ansbach dying, and it was like, well, we want you to have 2 NPCs, but Ansbach is dead. I do wonder. But this fight has a lot of dialogue, so I'm going to mute myself.
Don't you dare approach Miquella the Kind. Needle Knight Leda and Dryleaf Dane. will never allow this.
Because I don't like talking over NPCs. I thought they were gonna talk, but they did not talk. Also, why is it Dryleaf Dane?
I am Ansman of the Pureblood Knights. I stand with blade aloft, blood of fire, for the dignity of my lord and master Moog.
Okay. Because it's normally, like, Freya first.
I am here to serve Citrina evermore.
I'm sorry for speaking to you as a compatriot when we stood before the withered arm.
Righteous tarnished. It appears that our interests have aligned. A balm upon my soul it is that we do not meet today as enemies. Now, my blade. Watch closely.
I am deeply sorry for doubting you. I am here only to grant Citrina's singular wish. I will stop Mikkel of the kind. He will never become a god.
By way of apology, I will reveal the marrow of my soul. Kindly, Nicola, make the world a gentler place.
You bullied her at the end there. I don't like talking over NPCs, so that's why I stayed quiet there. But it's normally... They're not here at all. Normally it's Freya and then Sir Moore, I think his name is, and then Dryleaf Dane, and then Leda. So there's normally 4 NPCs that show up as enemies, but there was only 2. I've heard from a friend that certain... I don't know if it's certain dialogue options or if you don't progress this quest enough or what, but Sir Moore can die and show up, like, here instead. Aye. Alright, we can talk to you. But then after that, I'm gonna look for Moore and Freya.
Righteous tarnished. That was an astounding battle, to be sure. Now I suppose this leaves only one. But in truth, I cannot calm my quivering. Challenging a god is no small matter. I'm afraid I underestimated the lad. Appearing frail in both body and mind, I presumed he'd be like to stumble upon the field of battle. What a fool I was. He serves another master, but Setiolier performed magnificently. Perhaps he too quivers with anticipation, as do we. Oh. Something you want to get off your chest? Well, you needn't worry. It was you, wasn't it? Who defeated Lord Moog. Fear not. I bear no grudge against you. His Eminence was felled in an honorable duel. And such are the risks of seeking lordship. Besides, what right have I to complain? I blame the enchantment more than anything. Righteous tarnished, we will have our victory. I swear upon my blood. Righteous tarnished, we will have our victory. I swear upon my blood.
Yeah, he died in honorable combat. Definitely not me Using a bow and a bunch of status effect arrows. Yup. I didn't use a bow. Not this run, not on this character. I may or may not have done it before. It may or may not have been hilarious. But not this character. But as I said, I heard from a friend that it's north of the church. Because apparently Moore's like huddled up with one of the forager brood. Never found them, so where they are specifically, I wouldn't know. I assume they would be against the cliffside because that's where most of them have been. Oh my god. Oh. Yep. There's one. Okay. I'm gonna head to the 7th floor because that's where we last saw her, but I mean, either way, you get his bell bearing, his great shield, and his armor set. So I don't see a reason to meet the conditions to bring Sir Moore into the fight, because either way the reward is the same. But if you meet the conditions that have him enter the fight, then you have to kill him, and that's sad. So I don't know the specific conditions you need to meet in order to bring him into the fight or to keep him out. But now that I know that you can keep him out and that you get the same rewards either way, I don't see why you would let him enter the fight. Freya's great sword and set. Same with Freya. You get her sword and armor set either way, but doing it like this, you don't have to kill her, but you don't lose any of the rewards for not killing her. So here you get the same rewards, but the fight is twice as easy. So that just feels like a better option to me. Pureblood Knight Ansbach. I'm not summoning Talia. I tried using him once. He got buffed after that. But still. We can run with Leda's Great Helm. We can keep running with that. Oathseeker. Because I like having good defense. But we can head on in, and I will let this cutscene play itself out.
My blade and champion of the festival. Both
your deeds will ever be praised in song. Now, the vow will be honored, and my Lord Brother's soul will return, so that he may be my consort.
Kinda surprised we were able to
General
avoid
Radahn,
that.
a pleasure to see you after all this time. But those remains do not belong to you. Lord Moog will have his dignity.
Okay. Always love new dialogue, because in the initial run, we helped Leda kill him, and so I didn't get to summon him and didn't get that dialogue. Poke. I should have jumped. I say as I roll again. I'm just so used to rolling. I have to go with what I'm used to. It's muscle memory. Ow. Ooh. Phase 2 transition.
Lord Brother. At long last you are returned. Tarnished one. Aspiring Lord of the Old Order. If you have known sin, if you grieve for this world, then yield the path forward to us. To I, Miquella, and my promised consort, Radahn.
And this is the part where we die. Because he got a big old explosion attack that hurts our bones. Yeah, he also has giant death holy lasers. And a lot of them. And I do mean a lot. And I do mean a lot. Like, way too many. Yeah, I mistimed some rolls. Part of it is from being rusty, part of it is from not fighting him in a while. Part of it was nerves. Part of it is the fact that I didn't have a golden braid. Question is, do we want to drop one of these two talismans for Pearl Drake? Might be a good idea.
General Radahn, a pleasure to see you after all this time. But those remains do not belong to you. Lord Moog will have his dignity.
Oh. My poke attack did not work. A lot of my slashes are working though. Okay. As I said, nerves are getting to me. Whew. 'Cause I fought him at this point twice without recording, and I beat him first try on both attempts. So I definitely have that capacity. And the main reason I was able to do that is a mixture of, at the time I wasn't rusty, and I didn't have nerves. Whew. From recording. I rolled too early. Jesus. Might also be a thing of better armor and weapons on those characters. But I think that nerves are a bigger factor. Yeah, I do think it's more so the nerves. Because, oh boy. That attack is going to do a lot of damage. It did less than I thought. It still did. A lot of damage, though. I think that's the third time he's done that attack on this one character. Oh, is Mimikir dead? Ah. Rip.
I just started.
Okay.
Come on, you.
You were saying something. But once we kill him, like once we kill Radahn, there's still the 2 armor sets to pick up, there's still the cutscene, there's still Saint Trina, and I could talk a bit, maybe do some caves, because I know there's a catacomb here, and Bonnie Jail that I haven't done. So, there's still some stuff, and we've hit over an hour. So, I think we can end it here, and I can give my nerves a break. So, in this part, we fought Romina and did all of Enir Ilim except for the boss. And we've gotten ourselves the Folks, the Braided Cord set, Remembrance of the Saint of the Bud, a random chance drop of the Horned Warrior Sword. We also got the Inquisitor Ashes, the Euporia, the Horned Warrior Ashes, I believe it's a random chance drop of the Divine Beast Helm, Dane's Footwork, Leda's Chest Piece, Mor's Bell Bearing, and the Verdigris Great Shield and set, and then Freya's Great Sword and set. And we also got new dialogue with Ansbach. So, we made good progress today. Sadly, wasn't able to kill him. I'm gonna blame that mostly on the nerves, but still good progress today, and yeah.